Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Restorative Force podcast. My name is Hannah Phang, and I'm an entrepreneur across wellness and sustainability. And in my career, this has completely ranged from being on the steering committee for the UN Fashion Charter for Climate Action, all the way to teaching at yoga retreats. And over the course of my career, I've been noticing patterns in both the challenges and solutions for personal well being and planetary sustainability. So, the things that actually make us feel well in these human bodies of ours are also the things that are working to address issues like the climate crisis. And those things that are causing us stress and anxiety are the same root cause of things like inequality and injustice. So, here's an example. In the wellness industry, we often talk about having, an amazing morning ritual to set you up for the day as your best self. So maybe that's going for a walk or journaling or doing your skincare routine. But then the conversation kind of stops there. What we don't then talk about is you go into your job that you maybe hate and is causing you stress and anxiety. We don't talk about the pressure you feel from social media to look a certain way and have certain things, or the anxiety that comes from reading news headlines about the climate crisis, wars, the cost of living. So even though you have this hit of feeling good in the morning, you then spend the rest of your day swimming through a way of living that actually values stress and overwork and overwhelm as a badge of honor. And this culture that causes you to feel this way is actually designed to do so. It's built on extractive models and structures that were created to provide infinite economic growth at all costs. And one of those costs is your well being, not to mention social inequality, injustice, and climate change. So, this podcast is focused on bringing all these things to light so we can see it, understand it, and then change it. The short term band aid solutions we often turn to just aren't working. As much as I love a matcha and a journal and journaling, it just isn't completely making us well. And given the scale of the challenges at hand, things like the climate crisis and the urgency of it, we need solutions that are going to unlock transformation at pace. And this is really where our name, Restorative Force, comes from. We know we need to shift away from a culture that really values and heroes stress and pressure, and which sits atop extractive models and structures, and move towards a culture and systems and structures that are designed to restore and regenerate ourselves and the world that we're all living in and a part of. Because we are out of homeostasis in our bodies and we're way out of balance on planetary levels as well. So, here we're going to explore what needs to happen. What does that roadmap look like to get us back into balance in our bodies, in society, and on our planet? And we're going to do this through conversations with experts, such as with breathwork facilitators and neuroscientists and climate experts. And we're going to help paint the picture in our mind's eye of what restoring us back to balance can actually look like and what it would feel like. So that in our present realities today, when we find products or experiences that offer, pockets or glimpses of that future, of that experience, we can recognize it and can hold on to those as reminders that that future that can work for everyone and that experience is possible, and it's maybe even closer than we might think. We're also going to ensure that each episode offers really tangible, actionable information so that you feel equipped to go out and start aligning your actions and beliefs with that restorative, sustainable, better future for all. And one thing that I also just want to call out is the idea that moving towards a sustainable future means like stopping everything. It means having less. It means fear and scarcity. But it isn't like that at all. This isn't about, not dreaming as big or having smaller ambitions. It's actually about having bigger ambitions and dreams. We're heading to an even better destination than we can currently imagine, which is happier, more abundant, and more sustainable lives for all. And the way that we get there will look like being in flow and being in tune and working with how we are designed as human bodies on a planet, rather than working against our nature and being met with stress and resistance. So, how can we actually leverage how we're designed as human beings to more efficiently and effectively create a society and a culture that works for the benefit of us all? So, one of my businesses is a brand called Rain, and this is what we are actively exploring. How can we create products that do just this, that work with how our bodies are designed so that we can feel what it's like to not only optimally function in our bodies, but to actually feel really good? And we hope our products give you an experience where you feel tapped into this. So I can't wait to dive into conversation with experts as well as with all of you listening to uncover these key levers we can pull to help us all move in this better direction. And if this sounds interesting to you, please do subscribe and follow, share it with a friend, and let us know your thoughts on how we can be a force for our collective restoration. Thanks for listening to the Restorative Force podcast. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a rating and review and share it with a friend. You can follow us at Wellbeing on Instagram and at TikTok. Thanks so much and see you next time.